Ladies and gentlemen, the streets of New York just witnessed a scandal so spicy it makes Times Square billboards look dim. Chrisean Rock, yes, the queen of chaos herself, has officially been spotted with none other than NBA Youngboy after his New York concert. And the internet is losing its collective mind. This isn't just a casual link-up. This is the type of crossover event that makes Marvel jealous. Picture it, the Bronx buzzing. Fans leaving the arena still hyped off Youngboy's performance. And then BOOM paparazzi lenses catch Chrisean sliding into the scene like it's a WWE surprise entrance. Forget Romeo and Juliet, this was more like Bonnie and Clyde mixed with love and hip-hop on steroids. Fans online, they're foaming at the mouth. Some are screaming power couple, others are clutching pearls like grandma just saw a horror movie. Memes already have Chrisean photoshopped holding Youngboy's mic like it's Excalibur. And let's be real, Blueface probably threw his phone harder than Tom Brady throwing a Super Bowl pass the second he saw the pictures. This isn't just tea. This is boiling lava spilling through the streets of social media. And trust me, the drama is just getting started. New York is a city built on scandals. Wall Street crashes, celebrity arrests, Broadway meltdowns, you name it, the Big Apple has seen it all. But even the city that never sleeps wasn't ready for this circus. Chrisean Rock, the walking headline herself, linking up with NBA Youngboy after his concert. If you think this was just two artists casually saying what's up, you're clearly new here. Nothing Chrisean does is casual. Nothing Youngboy does is quiet. And when these two worlds collided, it wasn't a handshake, it was an earthquake. Let's rewind the chaos tape. NBA Youngboy, fresh off performing in New York, had fans screaming, phones in the air, the type of energy that makes Madison Square Garden feel like a religious revival. Then, in the aftershocks of that performance, paparazzi and eagle-eyed fans spotted Chrisean slipping into his orbit. Not in some low-key, I'm just here for the vibes way. No, she was front and center, grinning like a cat that just raided the cream factory. Immediately, phones came out, tweets started firing, and the footage went viral faster than a TikTok dance challenge. Within minutes, hashtags exploded. Hashtag Chris, EAN, and Youngboy. Hashtag Blueface lost. Hashtag NYC chaos. Instagram blogs posted blurry screenshots as if they were FBI evidence, with captions screaming, Chrisean Rock spotted with NBA Youngboy after NYC concert. What does this mean? And fans? They went feral. The reactions split into categories. Group 1, the hopeless romantics, who immediately started shipping them like Amazon Prime, calling it the couple we didn't know we needed. Group 2, the doomsayers, clutching pearls and predicting global destruction if these two chaotic forces actually unite. And then there was Group 3, the comedians roasting Blueface harder than a rotisserie chicken left too long at Costco. One viral comment read, Blueface finna drop a mixtape called She Belongs to the Streets Volume 1 Foot by Midnight. Now let's be clear, Chrisean Rock isn't new to scandal. Her resume reads like a TMZ greatest hits album: fights, arrests, public meltdowns, shocking interviews, and more relationship drama than an entire season of Love and Hip Hop. Pair that with NBA Youngboy, who himself is a magnet for controversy, with more kids than Nick Cannon's group chat and a fanbase that treats him like a prophet. And you've got the most combustible duo since Gasoline Met a Lit Match. This wasn't just a link-up. This was a storyline begging to explode. Blueface, of course, looms in the background of all this. The man who built a whole brand out of toxic chaos with Chrisean suddenly has to watch her walk into another. Rapper's spotlight. If reality TV producers had brains, they'd already be writing the spin-off. Blueface versus Youngboy. Battle for Chrisean. Honestly, it would probably pull higher ratings than the Super Bowl. The wildest part, nobody even knows what they were really doing together. Some say they're cooking up music. Imagine a Chrisean Rock x NBA Youngboy track, the audio equivalent of a demolition derby. Others whisper it's personal, that sparks might actually be flying. And the third theory, purely clout. Because let's face it, Chrisean knows how to stay trending. Linking up with Youngboy guarantees her name, stays glued to every gossip page for weeks. Fans online wasted no time crafting conspiracies. Some swear Blueface set this up himself, hoping to spin the drama into publicity for his next project. Others think Chrisean's making a statement, saying she's done with toxic relationships only to dive into another roller coaster. And a select few are just rooting for chaos, because the internet loves nothing more than watching a messy story spiral into absolute madness. But here's where it gets even crazier. Remember, both Youngboy and Chrisean have massive ride-to-eye fan bases. These aren't casual stans. These are internet soldiers who will go to war in the comments section for their idols. Within an hour, Chrisean's supporters were hyping her up as leveling up from Blueface. Youngboy's fans were screaming that she was just chasing clout. And Blueface's defenders, they went nuclear, dragging Chrisean as unloyal and claiming she's been plotting her escape all along. It was less of a debate and more of a digital WWE match, with everyone swinging and no referees in sight, and the memes. Oh, the memes. Within hours, Twitter was flooded with edits of Blueface crying into a microphone while Chrisean and Youngboy posed like Jay-Z and Beyoncé. TikTok creators posted skits of Blueface pacing his living room, screaming at the TV like a dad watching his favorite team lose in overtime. Even NBA memes got involved. One showed Youngboy dunking on Blueface with a caption, "Posterized in New York." But what about the first official reactions from the people involved? As expected, Chrisean played coy, throwing up cryptic posts like, "Don't worry about me, worry about yourself." Youngboy stayed quiet, because he doesn't need to say anything. His silence only adds fuel to the fire. And Blueface. Allegedly, he jumped on Instagram Live faster than you can say toxic, ranting about loyalty, betrayal, and how people need to stop dragging his name into mess. The irony. Nobody dragged him in. He walked himself in, barefoot, holding a sign that said, "I'm triggered. It's the perfect storm." A high-profile rapper fresh off a concert. A controversial reality star with a fan base that thrives on mess. And an ex who can't resist turning every situation into content. This wasn't just a sighting. This was the start of a storyline that fans, haters, and bloggers alike couldn't resist. Because when Chrisean Rock walks into a room, drama doesn't follow her. It arrives first, sets up a table, and waits for her to take a seat. By the end of the night, gossip blogs had published at least 10 conflicting inside sources about what went down. Some said they were laughing backstage, others claimed they left together. And one particularly dramatic blog swore they were inseparable the whole evening. Truth? Who knows? But perception, that's all that matters. And the perception was clear. Chrisean and Youngboy together is the internet's new obsession. An obsession, my friends, is where the real chaos begins. The morning after was like waking up to the internet equivalent of a 5-alarm fire. Screenshots, shaky videos, and blurry paparazzi pics were everywhere. And every blog from the Shade Room to random Twitter threads had something to say. The whispers from the night before weren't whispers anymore. They were full-on screams echoing across timelines. Chrisean Rock and NBA Youngboy weren't just trending. They were trending worldwide. And for once, it wasn't because of a fight, an arrest, or a Blueface rant. It was because two of hip-hop's most unpredictable forces collided. Celebrities wasted no time, jumping on the bandwagon. Some were shady, some were supportive, but all of them made sure their 2 cents were heard. Cardi B, never one to miss messy fun, tweeted a string of laughing emojis with the caption, "New York be wildin'." Lil Durk dropped a cryptic comment under a blog post. That's a dangerous duo. Even Summer Walker allegedly liked a fan post calling the link-up the most toxic collab since Tequila and Bad Decisions. When other artists start chiming in, you know the scandal has gone from rumor to cultural event. Meanwhile, Blueface couldn't stay silent. The man treats Instagram Live like a therapy session nobody asked for. He popped up looking stressed, pacing, chain swinging. while ranting about loyalty and clout chasing. Fans clipped one line in particular, "She chasing a moment." But that moment ain't forever. Within minutes, TikTok DJs had turned it into a remix with beats, dance challenges, and the caption, "Blueface crying in the club." His attempt to control the narrative just made him look more pressed than a wrinkled shirt under an iron. But the internet didn't stop with him. They dragged Blueface mercilessly. One meme showed him photoshopped into a New York subway train chasing after Chrisean and Youngboy, who were laughing in the front seats. Another had him edited onto the cover of Drake's Take Care album, head in hands, with the title changed to "She Don't Care." It was relentless, it was savage, and it was viral gold. Savage, and it was viral gold. At the same time, fans of Youngboy and Chrisean started going at each other like gladiators in a digital coliseum. Youngboy stans accused Chrisean of being thirsty for clout, screaming she'd do anything to stay in headlines. Chrisean supporters clapped back harder, claiming she was leveling up and finally surrounding herself with someone on her status. And then, of course, the Blueface defenders chimed in, ranting about betrayal, loyalty, and respect. The comment sections were like battlefields, full of caps lock rants and crying emojis. And let's not forget the conspiracy theorists. These internet detectives had their magnifying glasses out, analyzing every frame of every blurry video. Some claimed they saw Chrisean and Youngboy whispering backstage. Others swore they left the venue together in the same SUV. A few even said this was all staged, a publicity stunt cooked up by labels hungry for drama-fueled streams. Because let's be real, nothing sells in 2025 like scandal. The memes kept mutating, and they got funnier by the hour. One viral post showed Chrisean and Youngboy edited into Jay-Z and Beyoncé's On the Run tour poster with the caption, "Coming soon to a toxic relationship near you." Another TikTok had Blueface pacing his living room, edited with dramatic violins playing in the background, while text popped up when your ex levels up and the internet makes you the meme. Millions of views, thousands of stitches, endless laughter. And the blogs. Oh, they feasted. Page 6 dropped a headline calling it a New York City shocker. Gossip. Blogs compared it to the new Bonnie and Clyde of hip hop. Even mainstream outlets like Complex and POSTED think pieces, debating whether this was the start of a new rap power couple or just another viral distraction. The coverage was everywhere, making the scandal inescapable. But what made this moment even wilder was how fans started dragging old receipts into the conversation. People dug up Blueface interviews where he claimed Chrisean would never upgrade after him. Fans spammed those clips with laughing emojis and captions like, "Sir, she just upgraded in HD." Others resurfaced Youngboy's past controversies, warning Chrisean she was jumping from the frying pan into the fire. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. This wasn't a story about love. It was about chaos breeding chaos, and yet the fascination only grew. Why? Because this wasn't just about two people being seen together. This was about what they represent. Chrisean is the face of messy, no-filter, unbothered chaos. Youngboy is the face of unpredictable, ride-or-die, fan-obsessed intensity. Together, they're a combustible cocktail the internet can't look away from. One fan put it best: "This link-up is like handing matches to a kid in a fireworks factory." By day 2, the scandal had officially morphed into a cultural spectacle. Radio shows were debating it, podcasters were dedicating entire episodes, and YouTubers were pumping out 20-minute breakdowns with titles like Chrisean Rock, ex-NBA Youngboy, What Really Happened in NYC. And every single one pulled in millions of views, because people couldn't get enough. Meanwhile, Blueface doubled down. He kept posting cryptic tweets, shady IG stories, and even tried to clown Youngboy by calling him washed. The internet wasn't having it. Replies dragged Blueface for filth. "Bro, you're the one washed in Chrisean's laundry." Another savage fan wrote, "At least Youngboy's concerts sell out. Can't say the same about you." Blueface's attempt to spin the narrative backfired harder than a bad fireworks show on the 4th of July. Chrisean, of course, played her favorite game: silence mixed with trolling. She posted selfies with captions like "living life, staying unbothered," while chaos burned around her. Fans decoded every emoji, every caption, every Instagram story like they were deciphering CIA files. Was she hinting at romance? Was it all business? Was she just stirring the pot for fun? Nobody knew. And that's exactly why it worked. The more questions people had, the more the drama spiraled. This wasn't just gossip anymore. It was entertainment. It was distraction. It was the internet's favorite news soap opera. And whether it ended in a collab, a romance, or a messy fight caught on video, one thing was guaranteed: the world would be watching. Because scandals fade. But this one was just warming up. By day 3, the internet had officially crowned this scandal the new royal wedding of chaos, except instead of tiaras and flower girls, it was memes, think pieces, and enough shade to block out the Manhattan skyline. Chrisean Rock and NBA Youngboy weren't just spotted anymore. They were cemented as the most talked about duo in hip-hop. And the aftermath: messier than a food fight at a middle school cafeteria. The first ripple hit Blueface like a tidal wave. He was suddenly less of a rapper and more of a walking punchline. Fans mocked him in comment sections, spamming stroller emojis and clown faces under every post he made. His attempts to clap back just poured gasoline on the fire. Screenshots of his rants spread faster than wildfire. And suddenly, Blueface in Shambles was trending right alongside #Chrisean and Youngboy. Imagine being known less for your music and more for being the internet's favorite crying meme. Brutal. Meanwhile, Chrisean's stock skyrocketed. Love her or hate her, people couldn't stop talking about her. Overnight, she went from toxic X headlines to the queen of leveling up. Fan pages multiplied. Blogs called her the new face of unpredictable fame. And TikTok edits turned her NYC appearance into slow-motion montages, with captions like, "She really left him and upgraded in 4K. For someone who thrives on attention, this was jackpot energy. NBA Youngboy, on the other hand, remained an enigma. His silence made the story even hotter. Fans treated every tiny movement, a liked post, a cryptic lyric, a random IG story as gospel. The mystery only amplified his power in the narrative. Some said he was playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. Others argued he didn't even care, that he was just vibing while the internet lost its mind. Either way, his reputation didn't just survive, it grew. The legend of Youngboy Can't Lose got another chapter. The cultural fallout was undeniable. Podcasts debated the ethics of dating your ex's enemy. Morning shows discussed whether Chrisean was making a business move or a messy one. Even late-night comedians got in on the fun, with one joking at this point: Love and Hip Hop should just set up cameras around Chrisean Rock 24/7 and call it a day. She wasn't just a reality star anymore. She was a walking, talking content machine. But the deeper impact: trust. Blueface's diehard fans started to splinter. Some remained loyal, screaming betrayal and painting Chrisean as disloyal. Others quietly admitted she might have outgrown him. That division left his brand weaker, his image shakier, and his control over the narrative shattered. In the world of hip-hop, perception is everything, and his took a major hit for Chrisean. Though the consequences weren't all rosy, while her clout ballooned, so did criticism. Some accused her of being opportunistic, of chasing relevance through high-profile men. Others warned she was jumping from one toxic situation into another, trading one headache for a bigger one. The label clout chaser started popping up more. And even some supporters admitted they were nervous about where this ride would lead. Because, let's face it, when you link up with NBA Youngboy, it's never calm waters. It's a roller coaster with missing seatbelts, and the fans, they were addicted. Entire Reddit threads popped up dissecting the drama like crime scenes. YouTube T channels milked the story for all it was worth, pumping out updates with titles like "Chrisean Rock's next move with Youngboy will shock you." The constant speculation, the endless memes, the wild theories, it was social media crack. Nobody wanted to log off. But behind the laughter and memes, a darker truth hung over everything. This wasn't just entertainment. It was real people's lives being played out as public theater. Blueface's humiliation was real. Chrisean's reputation shift was real. Youngboy's silence was strategic but calculated. And the collateral damage. Fans questioning loyalty, relationships. And how much of celebrity culture is just one endless carousel of betrayal for clicks? The reputational scoreboard was clear. Blueface, down bad, reputation bruised, ego shattered. Chrisean, clout boosted, brand amplified, but criticism rising. Youngboy, untouchable, mysterious, elevated to even greater myth status. In the court of public opinion, this wasn't just a scandal. It was a reshuffling of the fame hierarchy. And yet the story didn't feel finished. If anything, it felt like Act 1 of a much bigger saga. Because Blueface isn't going to stay quiet forever. Chrisean thrives on chaos and isn't about to let the spotlight dim. And Youngboy's next move, whether a lyric, a cryptic post, or another unexpected link-up, will send the internet into meltdown all over again. That's the thing about scandals like this. They don't end. They evolve. They spiral. They spawn sequels. Today it's New York, tomorrow it's LA, and the next week it's another shocking twist nobody saw coming. The internet doesn't want closure. It wants more chaos. And this trio? They delivered by the end of the week. One thing was certain. The Chrisean Rock and NBA Youngboy link-up wasn't just a moment. It was a cultural reset. The kind of scandal that cements itself into the messy history of hip-hop forever. Blueface might never recover. Chrisean might never look back. And Youngboy, he just added another chapter to his legend without even opening his mouth.